Hello everyone, and thank you for turning into my channel. I'm mainly making this for my own enjoyment, just so I have something to talk about while I'm in quarantine and won't feel like I'm completely talking to myself. I mainly want to focus on fantasy basketball, NBA stuff, and anything else I might find enjoyable to talk about. So I figured what better way to start off the YouTube channel than to talk about a question that I think a lot of people are probably asking themselves right now. Is Julius Randle the greatest basketball player of all time? Before I begin, I just want to say I know it seems like I'm ripping off a Funky Diabetic, but I promise that's not my intention. Funky, I love you. You are one of my favorite YouTubers, and I just don't really know how to work any of these editing softwares or anything, so the one picture format and talking over it seemed like my best option. But, anyways, back on topic. Now, that might be seen as a bit of a hyperbolic statement, but the Knicks are 5 and 3. Now, I don't think a single person, a single analyst, nobody on the planet Earth thought that the Knicks were going to be 5 and 3 heading into this season. Now, I think we have to start by looking at someone who I'm not a particularly big fan of, and I will never forgive him for what he did to D Rose. I mean, should have subbed him out. That game was over, and I know it's not completely his fault, but I really like D Rose, okay? So, Tom Thibodeau, known for his defense, which is clearly shown on the Knicks' play this year. I mean, they've gone from being one of the worst defensive teams in the league to like when you're watching them, you're like, wow, you're actually playing defense. You're putting in effort. Mitchell Robinson isn't fouling people every 3 seconds, which is nice to see because that was the biggest knock on him this past few years in the league. Is just dude can't stay on the damn court. So as much as I don't like Tom Thibodeau, I have to give him props where props are due. He is turning the Knicks' defensive identity around, like, completely. But the main reason they are winning games, and I still can't get over the fact that of that statement, like the Knicks are winning games, is Julius Randle. Now he was getting clowned a lot last year, and still is getting clowned to this day for, the spin moves, the turnovers, the KD Kyrie situation, which ended up with them just getting Julius Randle and a bunch of power forwards instead. But we're going to move on past that. Julius Randle is putting up 22 points a game, 11 rebounds, shooting 50% from the field, and 40% from three. Now, I don't know what's got into him, honestly. Like, I do not know where this is coming from. Like, he's always been a good player, but I never thought I could see him lead an offense the way that he is currently leading the offense of the New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau has decided to put the ball in this guy's hands and let him work the magic. He is averaging 7 assists a game. That is the most on the Knicks. He is handling the ball more than anybody on the Knicks. I mean, aside from their point guard Elfrid Payton is close to him, but he has the most touches per game. So that do with that what you will. But I did not see this coming. I mean, this really just shows you got to make do with what you have. I mean, the Knicks have Julius Randle, and they are putting him to use. Now, do I think he's going to be able to sustain this throughout the entire season? Not a goddamn chance. Like, the dude is a career 30% three-point shooter. He is not going to keep shooting 40% from threes on like an insane amount of attempts a game, like, for his standards. So that leaves the question: what is going to happen? What do I think is going to happen to the Knicks for the rest of the season? I think honestly this is just a hot streak and they're going to go back to the bottom of the league. But the future is not as bleak as it looked last year with the development of RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin has potential to be good. He hasn't got any minutes. He hasn't been healthy so far. Emmanuel Quickly, I mean, I hadn't even heard of him coming out of the draft, but not that I looked into this draft class too extensively, but to that point, I mean, he's a really good point guard. That's pretty much all there is to say to it. He's making good decisions, he's moving the ball, and he's really helping their offense flow. And I'm a big fan so far from what I'm seeing. Now, I think that is the best case scenario for this team go heading into this season. I mean, I don't know what more they could have asked for than what they're currently getting. Tibbs was a good signing, as much as I was against it personally. I mean, it still remains to be seen whether RJ Barrett and Julius Randle's knees can hold up playing 8 million minutes a game all the time and their usage rates being as high as they are. But hey, I mean, it's working right now, so I guess we can't hate on them too much. So yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to talk about today. Let me just see if there's anything else I wanted to bring up. Oh yeah, Austin Rivers just scored 14 straight against the Utah Jazz, and won them the game. And a criticism I always make of Austin Rivers, I don't know if it's a criticism as much as I've never seen such a below average player think that they are Michael Jordan reincarnated as much as I have with Austin Rivers. I mean, if you watch when this dude gets the ball, his confidence is like ungodly. Like this dude could have Jesus Christ himself in front of him and he would still try to hit him with a cross between the legs, step back fade. Like I just do not understand where he gets this confidence from, but it worked out this game. I mean, he was clutch down the stretch, so respect to Austin Rivers. I mean, I will always refer to him as the modern day MJ, or maybe just MJ on this channel because I don't know, I just find it funny. So, I mean, yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say. Thank you for listening to my first video. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comments. I mean, I know we're all bored as shit in quarantine, so we can have some discussions about what you guys think about the New York Knicks and what other types of things you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. So,